Hello, 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 you nerds. Welcome back to my weekly live video where story time with myself, Yana Kasperczak, where I'll be bringing you different stories and different experiences that will help you to better your life in more ways than just one, as long as you actually apply what you are learning and not just learning for the sake of learning. So, Yana Kasperczak, your spiritual awakening core energy coach, and my soul's purpose is to help you get your shit together so you can break free from that mental prison that you find yourself in and live the life that you are excited to wake up to every single day and stop pushing snooze on your day and on yourself. And to help you do just that, I wanted to talk about this 5-person equation. And you've actually heard of this person equation many times, but I'm going to talk about it in a little bit of a different way. And I want to start off with asking you a question. And the question that I have for you is, it might be uncomfortable, as all the uncomfortable things allow us to grow. So here goes. Do you see yourself as an average person, or are you above average? And answer openly and honestly with who you know yourself to be. Are you an average person, or do you consider yourself to be above average? And how much above average? The next question I have for you is more so just an observation. And this is where the 5-person equation comes in. The people that you spend most of your time with and most of your energy with, are they an average person, or are they above average? You probably know why I'm asking these questions at this point, right? With this famous quote that you become the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So if you start looking around at people and their relationships and who they're spending time with, and most importantly, you yourself, who you spend your time with, how that person carries themselves, how they talk. Are they a small-minded person or a big-minded person? Or maybe their mind is just so big that you can't fathom where they're coming from. And what are you doing to help yourself fathom where they're coming from, to learn from those people? So here it is in a gist. If you spend your time with people who are angry, and that is their go-to, you will become an average of those angry people. If you spend time with people who are miserable, sad, and whining about everything and anything, you'll become the average of those people. If you spend time with people who are using, you will eventually start using. Your walls, little by little, will be broken down, and you will become the average. Whether you like to or not, you are highly suggestible and programmable. That is the magic of social media that has proven that to you. If you haven't noticed that so far, you will soon enough. What you expose yourself to, who you expose yourself to, you become the average of those people and those experiences. So if you're spending time with people who are not healthy, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally, or spiritually, and you're spending time with them, and quite a bit of time, who they are will rub off on you, and you will become more like them and less like you. That is the equation in itself. If you look at it this way, let's talk about nutrition wise. And these people that you surround yourself with, the 5-person equation, those 5 people you surround yourself with that you become the average of. And another question, do you want to be average, or do you want to be above average? I personally cannot stand being average of anything or anyone. And I don't want to be average. So in order for me not to be average, what do I have to do to be different? Not for everyone else, but for myself. Because this is not a game of showmanship. This is a game of life, your life. And if you're not living the life that you want to live, then only you can figure that shit out and get it straight and follow the path that you have designed for yourself. Stick to it. And often that means cleaning out those people. So now let's use the example of nutrition and with people, right? You'll see where we'll go with this. So if you don't like the way that your body looks or feels, you know that you can go and get all these different kinds of surgeries, all these different things to make you feel good in the moment. It's like getting a haircut. To make you feel good in the moment, but that moment passes and you're still left with who you are after you have done all that work and spent all of that money on making yourself look in a certain way that you want to look outside for everyone else. Because if you really wanted to live that life that you want to live, that you have in your mind, the reason why you go and get those jobs or those things done on your body is because in your mind you have a certain story that you're telling yourself that when you get there, this is what life is going to be like. Now, all of you already know that is not the reality, that when you get there, you don't feel and experience life as if you imagined you would, because it was done superficially on the surface. So in order for you to live that life that you have in your mind, that dream life, you got to do some work. And it starts, bodies are made in the kitchen. Yeah, you can go to the gym, you can spend all the time and hours in the gym, but if you're going to be eating shit, not only are you going to look like shit, you're also going to feel like shit. And chances are you don't want those. You want to feel, the reason why people want to lose weight or reduce weight is the better way to look at it, because when we lose something, this is the power of words. Words like weight loss means that when you lose something, you're going to go searching for it later, unconsciously, because that is the program itself. You know the meanings of words, consciously or subconsciously, and you will live to their definition. So using words like weight loss will cause you to keep looking for that weight and getting it back through the other side, through the junk, where you will find ways to get back to that old self that felt comfortable even though you weren't comfortable. So if you want to get to that state of being when it comes to your weight reduction, when it comes to your external body, all of that work that you want to see externally, all of that work happens internally. No one sees any of that. They will see the end result or the end results as time goes by, but they don't see the internal work that you're doing by changing your nutrition to the one that actually suits you and works for you, and eliminating dead foods. Anything that's in your cupboard, that's considered to be dead food. It's not alive. And we're meant to be eating live foods, not dead foods. Even the meat that you have, that's live food. But you gotta cook it, and you're still eating it while it's somewhat live. So now if we use that same example with people, and you surround yourself with value people versus junk people, those 5 average, you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you spend most of your time with people who aspire or inspire and work towards becoming the best version of themselves, you will become the average of those people. And if you want to be better than them, then you got to surround yourself with people who are better than them. So that way you can become the average of those people who will be above those people. But at the same time, no one is above, no one is below, no one is on the side. We're all together. We're all one. And if you're okay with your life the way it is, and chances are you're not, and that's why you're listening and watching, probably taking notes, then you don't want to spend time with people who are junking. Not who are junk, because they're not junk. No one is junk. But they're not for you. They're not for you anymore. They were, but they've served their purpose. And now it is time to move on and go to the next level of your evolution without guilt. And I mentioned guilt because this is the first thing that all of us go to when it comes to releasing someone we cared and love about. People that we have in our life, even though they're not serving us anymore, does not make them any less, like worth any less than they are. It just means that we no longer need them for where we're going because they are dragging us down. And in order for us to continue going on our path, we need to part ways and let them go on their own path. You might cross paths one day, you might not. But you gotta choose yourself. And the choice is an internal one, where you will no longer be able to ignore the discomforts of your realities. Knowing the choices that you're making every single day are either bringing you closer to where you want to be, or they're taking you further and further away from where you're trying to go and who you're trying to be. So I know it is hard. I have done that myself time and time and time again, and I will continue to do that, because as we each meet people who we assume are going to be the right fit for us, we can quickly discover that they're not. And as painful as it is to let go and continue going on our path, even if we are alone, it is better that way for one reason that I'll mention. I know it's many more reasons, but I'll just mention one. Is another quote, as I like quotes, and I might butcher this one a little bit, but here goes. If you want to live a hard life, then continue doing the easy things. And if you want to live an easy life, then start doing the hard things, or continue doing the hard things. What this quote simply means is that if you really want to live the life that you want to live, the one that you're dreaming about every single day, whether you're dreaming about consciously or whether you just carry it in your heart and it feels like a burden, and it feels like a burden because you're not allowing yourself to live that life, because there's a lot of shedding you got to do, that in order for you to live an easy life, you got to do a lot of hard things. And when you start doing hard things, those hard things that you're doing become actually easy to do. And that's why life becomes easy. But if you're doing things that are easy, you're doing the bare minimum, you're doing the average, and you're just merely getting by. It's like that employee that is doing the bare minimum, so that way they don't get noticed, they don't get in trouble, and they get paid, they come in and out, and no one notices them. But I know that's not you. So what is the one hard thing that you're feeling called to do today for yourself and your own personal evolution? That's the question I have for you. I'm going to read the comments. Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing? And I saw Tanya was on here. Hey, Tanya. I don't know if you're still on here or not. It doesn't show me how many people are live on this device. I gave up trying to figure out how it works, and I just let it be. Those that want to be part of the conversation can comment, and then we can chit chat. So Rebecca says, not contributing to our greater good at this time. Okay. Not sure what that one, I know that was a response to something. Maybe that's a feeling or emotion where you might be feeling like you're not contributing to your greater good at this time, or just for people, of that feeling that we might have. And then must release to make room for what is meant to be there. Yes. We, if the house is full, or let's say your luggage is full, how can you put more things in there? You can't. It's full, it's bursting. If you put more in there, it's going to explode. We humans are just like that luggage. If we stuff ourselves too much, we will explode or implode. Implode is on the inside, explode is on the outside. And more people implode than explode. Victim, that's imploding, and fighter is exploding. Both unnecessary, not only for our own survival, but to get what we want sometimes. But there's a difference between using those energy levels or those attitudes, those mindsets that come with those energy levels, and being used by them. Massive difference. One is control, the other one is out of control. The easiest way to explain. It's and then Rebecca says it's like trying to use the wrong puzzle piece to complete the puzzle. Exactly. Find the right puzzle piece. It might take you time, but it will be worth it, because that is harder to do than just sitting there trimming the puzzle and forcing it to fit, which you know it's never gonna fit quite right. And it says, I love that quote. And Rebecca says, I imploded. Yes. And that itself is a powerful teacher. When we implode, or even when we explode, those are such powerful teachers, because it's not easy to go through that, to go through it, not around it, not avoiding it, not ignoring it, not suppressing it, not numbing it, but to go through it with love, peace, calm, and compassion for yourself, first and foremost, and for others as well. We are more powerful than we have been conditioned to believe. I'm sure you've heard that when we worry, when you worry, 99% of those worries, this is what Lisa today reminded at a Sacred Circle, that 99% of those worries do not come true. They don't. We worry so much and we waste so much energy. Monsters Inc. right here, guys. Social media, any screen that you're looking at, that's Monsters Inc. If you haven't watched that kids Disney, I think it's Disney movie, I recommend to watch it so you get familiar with what powers the planet, if you will, what powers us all, and what keeps us down. I'll describe it in just two simple energies. One is catabolic and the other one is anabolic. Catabolic is it's a cannibal. That's the best way to describe it. It eats at you, it destroys, and it destroys the system. It ages you, it brings you down, and it keeps you down. That's imploding, exploding, and seeing the silver lining. That's actually catabolic still. Now, higher energies are anabolic in their nature, where they build, they rebuild, they breathe life into things. They allow the thriving to take place. Which one would you want to spend more time in? Monsters Inc. example, where I can't remember, Sully? Yeah, Sully, has been a while since I watched it. Where Sully, the big cuddly monster, it's supposed to be scary, but he's so cute and plushy. How he learned fear versus happiness and joy, and how happiness and joy was fueling and giving so much more energy and power. And you know this yourself. I want you to think back last time when you went through something painful, whether it was usually in your mind, where you had a bad day and you were stressed and you were anxious. How much energy and power did you have for yourself and for your day? Versus the last time you had an amazing day and you felt, you had great experiences and you had aha moments. How much energy did you have available? How did you feel? That's catabolic versus anabolic energy. And if you don't like how you feel, because most people are level 1, 2, and 3, which is catabolic, that's most of the world. Even more people have joined that party in the recent years. And even more people left that party because they recognize that just because you were invited to this party and you showed up, that does not mean you have to stay. That living life through the lens of guilt, shame, and embarrassment, and what if, and what will people think, is not living. It's not. That is a definition of the mental prison. And the only way out is to break free from yourself, from your thoughts, from your stories, from your interpretations, from the attitudes that are your mindset, your default tendencies. That is all. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you very much for being on here. Rebecca said, I'm sorry I missed the circle. I totally forgot it was Tuesday because Victor has the day off for Halloween. Completely understandable. Halloween is when the veil between the worlds is very thin. And if you're feeling a lot, that's because you're meant to sit down. I can feel my heart beating faster now. You're meant to sit down and communicate with those who are waiting to communicate with you. Don't ignore it. Don't avoid it. Give yourself some time to listen and hear. If you're able to do it through the day, great. But of course, at night, it would be even easier when everybody's sleeping, because the veil is so much thinner then. That's it. That's all I have for you guys. And until tomorrow, where Bethany and I will be doing our podcast, Heal the Unicorn and Heal the Unicorn Spiritual Awakening for Women Facebook group. We go live at 1:30 Eastern Time. And I hope to see you all there. And until then, bye everybody.